Alrighty, hey gang, welcome back. This is just going to be a quick little discussion on the way I built my door. I'm not a very good fabricator, so don't necessarily copy me if you know what you're doing, and if you know what you're doing, don't pick on me too much. The first one or two I built, I felt like I probably would have done better just to carve them out of a block of steel with my angle grinder. By the time I got done, I did so much grinding. But here's the general gist of it. So here's the door. It opens with a latch like this, and there's the frame. So the main thing I just want to talk about is the way that I build my frame here. So what's going on here is there are, boy, I really wish I'd brought a light. This is two pieces of angle, one laid inside the other. And it makes two L's next to each other, if you will, and that makes that channel for the fiberglass rope seal. Now on this one it looks like I use like 1.5 inch angle for the outer piece and then 1 inch angle for the inner piece, so it's a little recessed there, and then the frame that it lands on is just another piece of angle, and that makes a blade that the two angles and there you can see it down here. This is one piece angle here, goes in, up, and then the other piece angle there. And that rope seal then goes in there, the fiberglass rope, a normal wood stove seal, and lands on that bladed part of the other angle which forms the frame. So hopefully that makes sense. Then what I did here is there's just another piece of angle there, and that's going to form your primary air inlet. Now this one's taped up because this whole door is leaky and this is just experimental, but normally what you do, this is that piece angle there, this is the outer frame. Move this up a little bit and get this to try and be about 1 inch by 3 or 4, and that should give you some room to work with tuning your stove. So the way I did my latch here, you can see this is just a flat piece of steel here, and I welded it onto a little welding chisel handle. You can get those for like $6 at the hardware store, and just cut the hammer end off, and then it just latches onto a little bolt. I don't know if this thing will focus on it, but it's just a bolt there that's welded to a little chunk of metal to make a bridge piece, so that when this actuates it grabs it. There's a little groove let into the frame there. You can see how that works. It's really basic. Like I said, I'm no fabricator. So here, this is what I was saying. So this is angle, right? And it meets another piece of angle here. There's a seam, and that angle is here and then in there. And those two right angles, you know, the verticals or whatever, make the channel. So then the glass, that's Robax ceramic glass. You can cut it with a wet saw, the diamond blade. So if you can find an old wood stove door or whatever, but the best thing to do is just buy a chunk off eBay. It's not cheap, but I don't think it's terribly expensive either. And then my hinges, I just used weld-on bullet hinges, pretty large size. Over here you can see them. And the way I trimmed my frame, it's just another, that angle we talked about there, to make a big square frame. I used a little piece of bandsaw scraps to actually make the edges, because my edges weren't, you know, I fit it in there and then I tacked those bandsaw blades there. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. There's the secondary air down there, and then this was primary air. This is sort of just, again, experimental with some bottom primary for getting started. That usually just stays plugged these days. So there you go, Evan. Hope that helps. Jeremiah, you already seem to have a door. Anyone else watching? Maybe down the road this will give you some clues. Like I said, I'm not really a fabricator, so if you know what you're doing, then don't follow this advice. All right, there you go. Thanks for watching.